Imagine a beautiful, sunny afternoon in a lush park, the kind of day where the sky is clear and the air is warm with a gentle breeze. Birds chirp in the distance, and families enjoy picnics on the grass, creating a sense of calm and joy. In the midst of it all, a young black boy, no older than 8, is energetically running alongside a stroller, his colorful purple and yellow outfit standing out against the vibrant greenery. His eyes are filled with excitement, but there's something else in his expression: responsibility. He's not just playing, he's ensuring that the baby in the stroller remains safe as they move through the park. Time and date: New York City, USA, March 20th, 2025, 12 p.m. The baby, nestled comfortably in the stroller, is blissfully unaware of the boy's quick pace and the playful energy around them. Wrapped in a soft white blanket, the baby seems completely at peace. But as the boy jogs ahead, the sense of protectiveness in his actions is clear. A dog approaches the stroller, sniffing curiously at the air, but the boy is alert, keeping a watchful eye to make sure the baby is unharmed. It's a scene of innocence and responsibility, one where the boy takes charge, ensuring everything is okay in his world. What happens next will change his life forever. The very next day, the millionaire father of the baby, grateful for the boy's care and quick thinking, arrives at his house with a life-altering offer, a gift of $10 million. This story is more than just a moment of kindness. It's about how a simple act of responsibility can lead to unimaginable rewards. Stay with me to see how this young boy's life is transformed by fate. You won't believe what happens next. The boy's world isn't filled with sunshine and joy. He's grown up in a rough neighborhood where every day is a fight for survival. His family struggles to make ends meet, and he's often forced to look out for himself and his younger siblings. It's a life filled with challenges, where each day is unpredictable. The boy, no older than 8, has had to learn early how to navigate the difficulties of his environment. The streets, unforgiving and harsh, have shaped him into someone who is always on alert, constantly thinking ahead and adapting to the situations he faces. Despite the overwhelming hardships, this young boy has always had a protective instinct. He's learned to take responsibility for those around him, even at a young age. Whether it's keeping his siblings safe from trouble or watching out for others in his neighborhood, he's always been a quiet protector. His heart, despite the tough exterior life has forced him to adopt, is full of compassion. The boy's ability to put others before himself is a reflection of his resilience and the strength he's developed in order to survive in a world that often overlooks him. On this particular day, while playing in the park, the boy's protective instincts kicked in when he noticed the baby in the stroller. What started as a simple moment of joy quickly became something much more. The park, typically a place for relaxation and carefree moments, became the backdrop for a life-changing decision. The boy, ever vigilant, saw an opportunity to take charge of the situation, just as he had done countless times before with his family. The baby, wrapped in a soft white blanket, was blissfully unaware of the world around it. But the boy wasn't going to let anything happen to the child. His actions in that moment would set off a chain of events that no one, least of all the boy, could have predicted. What makes the boy's decision even more significant is the backstory of the life he's led. He hasn't had the luxury of innocence or a carefree childhood. Instead, he's been shaped by the streets and the lessons they teach. But in that moment, when he chose to protect the baby, it wasn't just a random act of kindness. It was a testament to the person he had become. a boy who had weathered hardships, learned responsibility, and built a sense of empathy that ran deeper than most could understand. The boy's backstory is what makes his actions in the park even more significant. His life of struggle has shaped him into someone who's more than capable of handling this extraordinary situation. Watch closely to see how his journey has brought him to this moment, and how his simple act of responsibility will change everything. This is a story about resilience, kindness, and the power of protecting those in need, no matter the cost. As the boy ran alongside the stroller, his protective instincts were always at the forefront. His eyes darted across the park, taking in every detail of the surroundings, making sure nothing out of the ordinary would occur. The baby in the stroller, nestled in a soft blanket, was blissfully unaware of the world around it. But the boy wasn't just jogging beside it. He was ensuring the child's safety, watching for anything that might pose a threat. His actions spoke volumes about his character and responsibility, something he had learned the hard way over the years. Suddenly, a dog approached. It wasn't acting aggressively, but it was curious, sniffing at the air near the stroller. Without hesitation, the boy's protective instincts kicked in. His eyes sharpened, and he stepped closer to the stroller, putting himself between the dog and the baby. He kept his movements slow and calm, never letting the dog get too close. His vigilance was instinctive, honed by years of looking out for his siblings and others around him. He understood the risks and knew how to handle them. The dog eventually lost interest and wandered away, but the boy remained alert, his eyes scanning the park for any other potential dangers. His heart continued to race, not because he was afraid, but because he was determined to ensure that nothing happened to the baby. His protective nature wasn't a response to fear. It was a reflection of the deep sense of responsibility he carried. He had learned early in life that he couldn't rely on others to keep him or his loved ones safe. So he had become the protector. What the boy didn't know was that his actions hadn't gone unnoticed. The baby's father, a millionaire, had been observing from a distance. He had been sitting on a bench in the park, enjoying the day with his thoughts when he saw the boy jog by. At first, he thought nothing of it. But when he saw the boy's protective movements around the stroller, his attention was piqued. He watched as the boy took charge of the situation, ensuring the safety of the baby without hesitation or fear. There was something remarkable about the way the boy handled the moment, something beyond his years. The boy wasn't simply watching over the stroller. He was fully engaged, making sure nothing disrupted the child's peace. The father, deeply moved by the boy's sense of responsibility, felt a deep gratitude for what he had witnessed. This was not an ordinary child. This boy, despite the hardships he had faced, had a heart of gold. And the father couldn't ignore the fact that the boy had gone above and beyond in ensuring the baby's safety. Later that day, after reflecting on the boy's actions, the father began to consider how he could repay such an incredible act of kindness. He knew that this was no ordinary moment. It was a turning point. The boy's sense of duty had not only saved the day, but had also revealed a deeper, more profound impact. A life had been touched by an act of pure responsibility. The boy's simple act of looking out for someone else changes the course of his life forever. What starts as a protective moment in the park becomes the catalyst for an unimaginable turn of events. Watch closely as this boy's life goes from hard to extraordinary in the blink of an eye. The very next day, the boy was at home, still processing what had happened at the park. His mind was racing, trying to make sense of the events that had unfolded the day before. He had never imagined that something so simple, Just looking after a baby in a stroller would lead to a life-altering change. His thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the door. When the boy opened it, standing there was the billionaire father of the baby. The millionaire, his face serious but filled with gratitude, stepped forward. He didn't waste time with pleasantries. He looked at the boy, who stood frozen in confusion, still trying to grasp the significance of the moment. "I've been watching you," the billionaire said, "and I owe you everything. Your actions yesterday, your responsibility, your care for my son were beyond extraordinary. I want to repay you for what you did." With that, the billionaire held out a check. The boy's eyes widened as he saw the numbers written on it. $10 million. The boy couldn't comprehend what he was seeing. $10 million, an amount so large it might as well have been from another world. How could this be real? He had just been helping a baby, doing what felt natural. And now he was standing before a man who was offering him a sum of money that could change everything. The millionaire continued, explaining that he wasn't just offering the boy money out of gratitude. This was a reward for the boy's unwavering responsibility and his care for the child. "You showed more care for my son in that moment than most adults would," the billionaire said, his voice tinged with admiration. "I want you to have a future, one that's better than the life you've had so far. This money is yours to build a new life, to do whatever you want with it. I want you to know that you're capable of so much more than anyone could have imagined." The boy stood there, stunned, unable to comprehend the magnitude of what had just been offered to him. Just a day ago, his world was full of uncertainty, struggle, and survival. But now, he was being offered a new reality, a world beyond anything he could have imagined, a future filled with opportunity, stability, and a chance to rise above the hardships he had known all his life. What did this offer mean for the boy? Could he accept it? His mind raced as he tried to process the enormity of the decision in front of him. He had always done what he could to take care of his family and himself. But this was an entirely different world, a world where his survival didn't have to be a daily battle, a world where he could dream of things he had never dared to dream before. The billionaire's offer wasn't just about money. It was about hope, possibility, and a chance at a different life, one that the boy could never have imagined for himself. This wasn't just a reward for saving a life. It was a chance to rebuild his future, a chance to leave behind the struggles of the past. This is the moment where everything changes for the boy. In the blink of an eye, his life has been turned upside down with an offer so extraordinary it's almost unbelievable. Watch closely to see how the boy processes this life-changing moment and how his world is completely transformed by an offer that will leave you in awe. With the $10 million offer, the boy's family is given the chance to start anew. They no longer have to struggle, and they can live in a beautiful home, away from the hardships they've known. What once seemed like an impossible dream had become a reality. The boy, his mother, and his siblings moved into a house that felt like a sanctuary, a place where they could finally find peace and security. The boy had always been the one to take responsibility, to care for his family, but now, for the first time, he could just be a child. He no longer had to worry about where his next meal would come from, or whether they'd have a roof over their heads. The boy's life had been transformed in a way he could never have imagined. He was no longer a survivor. He was someone with a future full of opportunities. With the money from the billionaire, the boy was able to attend a prestigious school. He no longer had to make do with what was available. Now, he had access to the best education, the best resources. He had the chance to learn and grow in ways that seemed impossible just days before. His mind, once sharpened by the struggles of his past, now had the chance to expand in ways that would prepare him for greatness. But the transformation didn't stop there. The boy wasn't just given money. He was given the gift of opportunity. For the first time in his life, he had the chance to experience things he never thought possible. He traveled to places beyond his wildest dreams, seeing the world with new eyes. He met people who opened his mind to ideas and possibilities that had once seemed out of reach. The world, once a place of struggle and survival, now seemed full of promise and potential. The relationship between the boy and the billionaire father grew stronger over time. It wasn't just about wealth. It was about something deeper, something that would last a lifetime. The boy had saved the billionaire's son, but in doing so, he had also given the father a sense of hope and gratitude. The boy's actions had created a bond between them, built on mutual respect and a shared understanding of what it meant to give and receive. The boy's life had been forever changed, and with it, the life of his family. The hardships they had once faced seemed like a distant memory. The future, once uncertain, was now bright with possibilities. The boy had proven that even the smallest actions could have the biggest impact, and that one moment of kindness could set off a chain of events that would transform lives. The boy's transformation is inspiring. His story is a reminder that no matter where you come from, no matter the challenges you face, you have the power to change your life. His journey shows that one simple act of kindness can lead to a future full of limitless opportunities. Don't miss out on watching how this boy's life is forever transformed by an offer that changes everything. The boy, now a little older, took a moment to reflect on his past and how far he had come. He remembered his humble beginnings, the struggles, the hardships he and his family had faced. Every day had been a fight for survival, a struggle to make it through. He thought back to the moment when he had saved the baby in the stroller, a simple act of responsibility that had changed the course of his life forever. That moment had marked the beginning of a new life, one full of possibilities, opportunities, and hope. But as he reflected on his journey, the boy realized that the story wasn't just about him. It was about the power of giving, about how one act of kindness can ripple out and create change, not only in his life, but in the lives of others as well. He had been given the chance to turn his life around, but he knew that he couldn't keep it all for himself. The money, the opportunities, the new life, those weren't just gifts for him. They were gifts that could be shared with others. He understood now that he had the power to pay it forward, to be the one who helped others, just as he had been helped. As he grew, the boy made it his mission to continue the legacy of kindness that had begun with the simple act of saving a life. He used his newfound wealth and opportunities to help those in need, just as he had once needed help. Whether it was through donations to charities, helping children from struggling families, or mentoring those who had faced the same hardships he had, the boy made sure that his life was about more than just personal success. He wanted to ensure that others would benefit from the same compassion he had received. The boy's actions had created a lasting legacy, one that would continue to inspire others to act with kindness and responsibility. He had shown the world that even a small act could lead to a ripple effect of change, and that one person could make a difference. His life had been transformed, but it was also clear that the lives of others had been touched by his kindness and generosity. This isn't just a feel-good moment. It's a powerful reminder that our actions can have far-reaching consequences. The boy's journey is a testament to the power of kindness, to the idea that one person's actions can change the world. Watch how this boy continues to pay forward the kindness he received and how he continues to inspire others to make a difference in their own lives. The boy's life has gone from struggling in the streets to becoming a symbol of how one kind act can change everything. His transformation has inspired countless others to believe that kindness is always worth it. What once seemed like a small moment, just a boy protecting a baby, has become a turning point in not only his life, but in the lives of many others who have heard his story. From living in hardship to being the recipient of an unimaginable reward, the boy has shown that the world is full of possibilities, waiting for someone brave enough to reach for them. The boy, now with a future full of promise, was ready to take on the world. With the $1 million reward and a bright future, he was determined to fulfill his potential. The hardships he had faced were now behind him, and he could focus on building a life that was once unimaginable. He now understood that anything is possible when you choose to do what's right, when you take responsibility for the people around you, and when you act from a place of compassion. He was no longer just surviving. He was thriving. And with this newfound confidence, the boy was ready to pursue the future he had always dreamed of. But what made his journey even more remarkable was the impact it had on others. His story reminded everyone that kindness doesn't go unnoticed. The boy's simple act of responsibility and care for another had changed not only his life, but had also inspired countless others to be kind, to take action, and to help those in need. The boy's legacy would not just be about the wealth he had gained or the future he had secured for himself. It would be about the ripple effect of kindness he had started, an effect that would continue to spread for years to come. The boy's story proved that no matter where you come from, no matter the circumstances, you can make a difference. His journey showed that even the smallest act of kindness could lead to the biggest changes. He hadn't just saved a baby. He had saved himself and countless others by choosing to be the protector, by stepping up when no one else would. And now, as his story continued to inspire people all over the world, the boy was setting out on a new path, a path full of hope, opportunity, and endless possibilities. This is more than just a feel-good moment. It's a powerful reminder that our actions can have far-reaching consequences. The boy's journey continues to inspire others to believe that one person can make a difference. Don't miss out on how his story will continue to unfold, and how his kindness and courage will leave a lasting legacy. The courtroom is now on the edge of chaos. The boy speaks clearly and confidently, recounting the events he witnessed. His words are not just a random accusation, they're backed by detail, clarity, and a sense of truth that even the adults in the room can't ignore. His calmness in the face of the overwhelming pressure only emphasizes the strength of his conviction. The entire courtroom is gripped by the weight of his testimony. Every word he speaks rings with a truth that is undeniable. And as he speaks, the room seems to hold its breath. The boy's testimony is a game changer. It's not just about what he saw, but about what he understands. His words expose a deep-seated flaw in the defense's narrative, and the audience, once skeptical, now begins to realize the gravity of what's unfolding. The tension in the courtroom thickens. What seemed like an open and shut case is now filled with uncertainty. The police officer, once calm and composed, now faces a challenge unlike any he's encountered. His role as the key witness, once unchallenged, is now under scrutiny. The boy's words have taken the foundation of the officer's defense and cracked it wide open. The officer, though still maintaining his composure, knows that the tides have shifted. His narrative, which he believed to be firmly in place, is now under a microscope, and his involvement in the events is being questioned in a way that he hadn't anticipated. As the boy continues to speak, the room grows more tense. The defense, which had previously been confident, is now on the back foot, scrambling to regain control of the situation. The prosecution, once uncertain about the direction of the case, now feels a surge of hope. The boy's testimony has injected new life into their argument, and what seemed like a losing battle is now something far more complex and unpredictable. No one knows exactly how the officer will respond, but one thing is certain. The dynamic in the courtroom has changed forever. The boy's courage is palpable. Standing in the witness box with the eyes of everyone on him, he knows that his words carry weight. There's no turning back now. The truth he has spoken is out there, and the consequences of it will ripple through the trial and beyond. Despite the pressure and the uncertainty, the boy remains firm in his stance, knowing that what he's done is right. His bravery has set the stage for something monumental. The officer's response will be crucial, but the boy's bravery has already set the course for a new chapter in the trial. This is the moment that shifts everything. This isn't just about one boy's testimony, it's about the power of truth, the power of standing up for what's right even when it seems impossible. The boy has exposed something hidden, and now the trial is on a path that no one expected. The courtroom is alive with the aftermath of the boy's words. The fallout of this moment will shape the remainder of the case, and it's clear that everything has changed. The boy's courage has turned the tide, and what happens next will be the result of his brave decision to speak the truth. This is the high-stakes climax, the moment when everything pivots. The boy's words have set the stage for a dramatic fallout. The power dynamics in the courtroom have shifted, and now everyone is left to deal with the consequences of what has been revealed.